franchise owners.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about the Fat Electrician's latest Fat Files
Yeah.
video on Subway. He makes a point at the end to differentiate between Subway corporate and the individual franchise owners.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things was apparently the whole time, like I know we bitch about where's the $5 foot long, right?
Yeah.
The whole time, almost every franchise owner was losing money. It cost like $7
sure.
to make every sandwich.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me
And
at
so
all.
they just had to eat it. And he also talks about how they have the highest franchise fee, and it's not gross. It's just like worse than gross. It's whatever shows up. I don't remember exactly the term he uses, but it's like 12.5% off the top. You can't deduct anything. And which I thought was gross, but he used a different term. I thought, so, or maybe it was. Regardless, it's good. We should check out one of his early videos that are really short because I don't think you've seen most of those.
I wanted to go this way. Here we go.
Um,
Ooh. Apparently, he hits this kid with his stun gun for some reason.
Oh, he popped him in the head. Oh, God.
Yeah, that seems a little inappropriate.
And he's holding up somebody wearing body armor. I don't know what the hell's going on. Something's going on there.
All right, Grok, tell me what happened. School resource officer grabbing a resisting teen. Incident involving a student from the opposing team prompted the officer to immediately. He was reassigned. What happened? There we go.
I don't like the striking in the side of the head with a taser. If you're going to use a taser, tase him.
Yeah, he should have just dry stunned him, just right in the side. What the heck?
I'm not a fan of head trauma.
What? The whole website has been taken over. Hang on. I'm not giving them an ad.
No free ad space. No free ads.
All right, there we go. Even though it already popped up. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. He struck an athlete during a PD Academy. There's the video. The team was not a student, an academy student, but was on the opposing team.
Well, it looks like it was caught on video and it's been referred to the proper law enforcement organization.
It looks like what happened. My guess is that there was a scuffle between some of the guys and between the opposing team. He grabbed this kid and then just inappropriately popped him. Like that. So he was probably trying to do, but you're also talking about a school resource officer. I don't know how much
they're cops.
If they've got the same level of training.
They're supposed to be cops.
Okay.
They're supposed to have at least in Texas, an SRO is supposed to be a sworn peace officer with all training and everything that goes along with it. So, that's why I kind of like what Cy-Fair did. That's where I went to school, the Cy-Fair ISD, and just kind of out in Cypress, Texas, just outside of Houston. When I went to school, we had resource officers, but the resource officers weren't cops paid for by the school. Okay, so they were paid for by the school, but we used the constables because Harris County is big enough that it has a constable department, and most of what constables do is serve warrants and subpoenas. And so when they weren't working a shift for that, they would show up and be the resource officer as a side gig.
Yeah. This is from the Babylon Bee.
You can't build it.
You can fill out your permit and wait 2 years.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. The government's going to seize the property and sell it off to developers from New Zealand.
Yes, of course. Oh, dude.
Which they promised they wouldn't do.
Of course they did. They lie all the time.
All the time.
All of them lie. All right. So.
Oh, the scientist thing is now making it to Congress. they'll have just as much effect with this as they have the UFO thing.
Exactly. But I mean, it's actually like, it's one of those things where like you see it kind of building on the internet and you're like, is this a thing? And then all of a sudden you see it on the news and you're like, it's a thing. Like it's not nothing. Okay. I'm sure you've seen this. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm sure you've seen this.
Yeah, this is all
a million times. So, but I was watching this and I had this thought of like, you scoot up in bed just a little too far, you bonk your head into the headboard and just get smashed in the face with a shotgun. Yeah. Like,
or that I'm thinking like, you know, something intimate is going on and then
exactly
gun falls out.
Wham, right to the face.
There are better places to hide a shotgun.
Oh yeah. No, pause.
I have to give a shout out to Mossberg. So a couple of years ago, I bought a Maverick 88, which is the cheapest shotgun Mossberg makes. Right, as a security gun. It's not a bird gun. I bought it with 20-inch barrel with the long tube, so it 7 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. And they basically say there's a 1-year warranty and then like a 25 or a lifetime warranty on the receiver.
Yeah.
And I basically shot it once, made sure it worked, loaded it, put it away, and I hadn't used it. And I took it out 4 or 5 months ago with a buddy of mine, and it wouldn't feed. It wouldn't eject. It wouldn't feed. It was just, and one of the reasons I bought it is the Firearm Blog, which is basically the guy's a self-admitted gun snob who does these 500 round torture tests where he fires 500 rounds through whatever gun it is of mixed ammunition as fast as humanly possible to see if they can make the gun break.
Yeah. And
he was talking about like the Benelli shotgun he liked and kind of talked some shit on Mossberg. And the Maverick guys who run that department were like, screw you, we're sending you one. And he ran and he's like, I can't break it. I can't, it's amazing. It's $200 ish.
Yeah.
Amazing shotgun. And I was like, all right, well, like I got one on sale at Academy and got a really good price on it. Sent it off to Mossberg, even though it's technically outside the warranty. Came back about a month and a half later. Functions flawlessly. They honored the warranty. They fixed it. No questions asked. They didn't tell me exactly what all was wrong with it. Like I didn't get a breakdown, but gun runs fine, and yeah. So shout out to a good company that stands behind its product, All
right. Check this
and I always like to talk about them because they're down in Eagle Pass. Like those guns are made in Texas.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on here? I can't hear anything. If you've got sound, nothing.
You could hear it a second ago?
No, I haven't heard a single sound yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which normally I do, so that's weird.
I wonder if it's because I'm sharing a screen off of a different browser.
Oh, maybe.
And maybe I have to do it through.
See, that's what I was doing the other day. I was sharing a screen from a different browser when it wasn't playing.
And if I do a Chrome tab, then I think you can hear it. Let's try this.
Let's try that here.
Can you hear that?
I don't even see it.
Could you hear it though?
No, I hear nothing.
Oh, there we go. Now let's try.
He's fucking scamming.
I hear it.
Streets. We are not doing a fake debate about.
This is somebody doing a debate, like the Crowder and Charlie Kirk and all those guys who go out and do debates with people, talking about deportations in the UK outside Liverpool College.
Mass deportation. You are fucking racist, and you are not welcome in our university.
I'm just having a
Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets.
You don't
Nazi scum
get to have a
off our
debate
streets.
and then like
Nazi scum
shut
off
everybody
our
down
streets.
and try and
I'm
block.
having a nice conversation with this gentleman.
I don't give a fuck about your conversation.
Chill. We don't need to be aggressive.
There is no point arguing with these people. They are fucking racist. I'm not engaging in a fake neutral debate with a complete racist. This is
I'm not
acceptable.
racist.
Nazi scum off our fucking streets. You are not welcome here. This is our university.
Lovely to meet you.
Who the
So I'll just, I mean, that was, but like,
It's just like
just
you know,
unhinged.
this is the whoever I'm assuming conservative that they're calling a Nazi or whatever. It's literally the kill them with kindness argument.
Mhm.
Be as nice and polite as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to share something now. Let's see. Share screen. Share.
You got to share a tab.
Okay, I'm gonna share the tab. Share. Okay. Have you watched any of his early stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said you hadn't watched his early
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I've watched a bunch of his stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, here, let me show you something.
well, I wanted to test and see if the sound comes through.
Yeah, there's a sound tab on there now. Now I've got a sound tab, so it should work.
I guess what's confusing here is you have fought and blocked the funding for the Department of Homeland Security because you object, as you just outlined, to what ICE has been doing. And you wanted to force changes. And yet, the only thing that has been assured throughout all of this is that ICE already has the money. Because as you said, $75 billion passed in the budget bill last year. So you're holding up the entirety of the Department of Homeland Security because you object to ICE and you want changes to ICE. But through it all, ICE continues to have the money it needs.
John, we're not holding up all of the money for all the Department of Homeland Security. That's just
a lie.
That's just a blatant lie. That's exactly what they're doing.
They're not holding it up anymore. They had conceded to everything except
ICE.
CBP and ICE.
Yeah, but it hasn't passed the House, I don't think.
No, the House
and
said
it's
no.
not going to, from what the speaker said. Like, I don't even know if he's going to call it for a vote.
Yeah. So here we go.
It's just a false statement. We have said repeatedly, repeatedly, we should fund TSA, we should fund FEMA, we should fund the Coast Guard. We are not prepared to give ICE another $10 billion on top of the monies they already have and are using in many of these lawless operations.
They're
We're not going to give them another
operations.
$10 billion.
It's the law. That's the
Yeah.
thing. He's lying. Every word that's coming out of this idiot's mouth is a lie.
Senator.
Idiot. Like, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Senator basically means idiot now, as far as I'm concerned. Because
But yeah, it's
he's
not
a
illegal
bullshit
operations.
Yeah. He's a bullshit artist. That's all he is. Yeah.
Here, let's
$1 billion
finish
unless they make fundamental
fighting over
reforms,
that $10
including
billion,
holding
you're
people
holding up
accountable
everything
for the
else.
killing of American citizens.
And fighting over that.
Well, and so now he's saying he's now going, we can't continue to fund them because they've killed people now.
Additional $10 billion, you are holding up the rest of Department of Homeland Security.
We're not holding it up.
I mean,
we have
you're saying
no, John, we're not holding it up. We have now voted 10
right,
times.
but you're holding up unless it doesn't include money for ICE. That's just a fact.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what it is it's we're not holding it up unless because as long we won't hold it up if you do exactly what we want.
Mhm.
We're happy to let you have it, but you got to do what we want.
Yeah, the minority wants to wag the dog. The
Mhm.
minority tail wants to wag the dog and direct everything as if they're the majority, and that's not how that works.
Yeah.
And this all goes back to we need to get rid of this stupid filibuster as it sits. And if you want to stop a bill by filibustering, you got to start talking.
Yeah.
And
I
when you
think
pass out and fall over, the filibuster's over and they can vote. And at 51 or 50 and a tiebreaker, it passes.
I think JD just said something about this. Maybe it wasn't. I saw some clip, some little quote earlier that he was basically saying, like, if you don't think when the Democrats are going to come in power, they're going to bust the filibuster and run everything through, you're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
All right, I love this. Let me.
On that, like the Democrats have showed us what their playbook is in Virginia, where they're like, we won an election by a little bit, so we're going to make sure that the Republicans can never ever do anything here ever again. Yeah.
Listen to this. You ever wondered why, in the wake of every Islamist terrorist attack, our media and politicians bend over backwards to make the extraordinary claim that Islamism has nothing to do with Islam? The answer is a mixture of things, of course, but the central reason is easy to understand if you think about it logically. To avoid offending morons, let's not talk about people and talk about apples instead. Sorry, I'll interject there, because that sentence is the best sentence ever. Oh, there are red apples, green apples, and yellow apples. Let's imagine for a second that a small percentage of green apples are poisonous and can injure and kill people. It's difficult to distinguish the toxic green apples from the other green apples, which are perfectly peaceful, law-abiding, and so forth. Now imagine that you're the public health authority whose job it is to protect the public. If your concern is solving the problem of the small minority of toxic green apples, you would immediately do a number of things. You might devote significant resources to identifying the toxic green apples and removing them from the supermarket shelves. You might commission thorough research into how and where the toxic green apples are grown. You might crack down very, very hard on anyone who knowingly participates in growing or distributing such apples. You might even say that while you are dealing with the problem of deaths caused by toxic green apples, bringing more green apples into the country is liable to worsen the public health crisis until suitable measures are identified, which allow you to separate the bad green apples from the good ones. This is how you would act if your primary concern was the safety of the public.
But yeah,
yep,
it's as clear as it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it.
The only people who can fix the jihadist problem are other Muslims.
Okay.
What I mean by that is to fix a violent, aggressive, attacking part, a small segment of your faith. You must reform your faith and look internally at the people doing it and punish them internally and do things like ostracize them, cast them out, whatever you need. The only people who can permanently fix the use of violence to spread a faith of any kind are the people in said faith.
Yeah.
Right? Everything else is a Band-Aid. Anything our government does is a Band-Aid. Or the only other way to potentially fix a faith, and I'm not saying this is right or good or moral, from outside the faith, is to exterminate said faith. Wipe it off the planet.
Yeah.
The Christians tried that with the Crusades, in a sense. I mean, it wasn't the whole goal, but and I'm not saying that that's the answer, but I have not found a third answer.
Well, what you would the example to that would be someone from outside the Christian faith coming in to say, here's a thing you need to change. It's not going to go over very well. So it's got to be if there's
it's shattered churches,
right?
Just the should women be a priest or a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Just that alone has split churches, much less other questions that have come down. Yeah. Luther. I mean, let's go back to first off, there's the Eastern Orthodox and the Roman
but that's
split,
all. But that's all still.
Split.
But that's all still coming from internal. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
The change was
the push for whatever needs to be accepted into as a pastor was internal and external.
There was external social pressures.
Well, the feminist women's liberation movement was one of
Yeah.
the things that pushed that.
Yeah.
Now, there were people
Oh.
in the church who agreed with that, but it was a movement outside of the church that pushed that toward the.
Dude, Rachel, I'm still working through. It's a 6-hour debate, but Rachel Wilson did a 6-hour debate with some feminist conservative and just spent 4 hours just being like, "You're a libertarian," and she's like, "No, I'm a conservative," and she's like, "You have no like, what about this? Liberal feminism. What about this? Well, that's libertarian. What about this?" And she's like, you're a what was it, like a poli-sci major? How do you not know? She's like, "I don't have a college education, and I have a better understanding of what you are, and you have a poli-sci degree, and you still
the
think you're a
schools
conservative."
Don't necessarily teach you what you need
Yeah.
under said degree. Some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, I got something crazy here. Let's see. All right, now I want to go to this one. Okay, so this is a Australian, senator. I don't know whatever their political thing is, but they're doing it's like
representative of some kind,
and they're having a back and forth about like a study that was done on the gender pay gap, and it's spectacular.
So do you take into account the fact that on average a male full-time employee works longer hours than a female full-time employee?
Not directly, no.
You don't?
But we annualise the part-time hours and those that have worked full-time but for part of the year. So that way, because at the moment, what I can tell you is women work part-time at 3 times the rate of men. So by annualising it, we are looking at a more realistic.
So you base it on annual salary?
Yeah.
What about if you did...
Okay, so did you hear what they just said there?
Yeah.
So we are looking at the gender pay gap, and they're basically saying there's a pay gap between what women make on an average and what women make on average. And he goes, well, he may get there in a second, but he's like, well, how are you looking at this? And they go, well, we take the pay that these people make and the pay that these people make, and we look at it on an annual level, knowing that 3 times as many women than men work part-time jobs.
Yeah, and so so I would want clarification. I would want to, because I'm not 100% sure what that person means when they say annualize.
They clear it up. I mean, we can keep going,
because
but yeah.
I would be like, okay, so are you saying you take the part-time worker and you're going to look at what they would make as a full-time worker annually?
No.
Like, because that would make sense to me, right? But if we're talking about pay gap, like that would make sense. So if I work 20 hours a week and the 40-hour week is what it is, so we take what I make at 20 hours a week, we move it up to 40, see what I make in a year, and see if there's a gap there.
No. What they're doing is they're taking someone who works 30 hours a week and a dude who's got a 40-hour a week job but happens to also work 60 hours, and then they're going, look, this guy makes more than this person.
Well, yeah, that's math. That's
so here,
math.
let's keep going.
On an hourly rate, what would be the gender hourly pay gap?
Well, we don't have that data, Senator.
You don't have that?
Yeah, we didn't look at that. We didn't look at the thing that would eliminate the potential for a pay gap, because I'm pretty sure it's illegal to pay people a different salary for the same job. I don't know.
I don't know what the laws are.
If you were paying all your women less if you had 10 people who worked on the floor of a Best Buy and you pay all the women $10 an hour and you pay all the dudes $15 an hour and no one's ever had a pay raise, that's not legal.
Yeah.
Because you're paying one category less. Yeah. So that's sort of where all right, here we go.
Have that data?
No, because we ask for annualised salaries and from our employers when they report their data in.
Okay, so if a woman was working fewer hours but earning the same rate per hour as a man doing the same job, would that show up as a gender pay gap?
No.
No.
But well, then in that case, you are looking at hourly rates.
And she's caught.
flummoxed.
caught.
Yeah.
Well, because what it is I guarantee you, she knows that those numbers don't make the point that she's trying to make with these numbers. And so when she goes like, well, yeah, it doesn't show it. And he's like, so you do know the numbers. Crap. Like I got caught.
Janine Budov, Research and Analytics
And here comes the
Executive Manager.
sisterhood to save her.
We do not collect the real hours that an employee might have worked. So what we do collect is the hours that are specified in a contract, and that is provided by organizations to us. If that makes sense.
Okay. So what they're saying is we're contracting you for 40 hours and that's what we're going to do it. So if you only worked 30 or you worked 60, we're only going to count it as if you worked 40. We don't take into account.
Yeah. But I mean, if you do you annualize it on the assumption that men and women are working the same number of hours, or is it actual earnings?
So there's my question.
It's actual earnings, and we are
answer.
unable to. We don't have the data to distinguish or to then adjust for hours because
So it's an invalid study.
We are not.
I mean, I'm not saying there's not a gender pay gap. I'm saying they don't have a valid study.
Yeah. It sounds like, well, no.
So
it gets crazy when you get to the end. Just wait.
Okay.
Hang on.
We cannot collect the real hours that employees are working.
So it's not possible to tell whether any or some of the gender pay gap is just simply attributable to a different number of hours worked. Is that right?
It depends on whether we are looking at hours that are in contract or whether we're looking at hours that employees worked as overtime.
Why is it you don't look at hours worked? You don't collect it, but the ABS does. It's available.
So there's
IRS.
the other thing. The data's there.
Yeah,
So-
that's their version of the IRS.
Essentially, yeah.
The ABS does
Yeah.
does a survey. Yes.
every 2 years.
Yes.
But again, as I say, we collect census data, that is survey data. And the other thing I would say at this stage,
Here we go.
Senator, is just because somebody might be sitting at their desk for 12 hours a day doesn't mean you're getting 12 hours of productivity out of them, and doesn't mean that they're working in essence any harder than someone that may sit at their desk for 8 hours.
Bullshit.
So the men are lying. That's what that is. So the men who say that they're working all this extra overtime don't really need it, and they're not really working as hard
Now,
as the
what
women
that tells
who work
me
less
is
hours.
That person sits at their desk for 8 hours and watches YouTube.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that at
There's
the
a lot
end,
of
like,
projection going on there.
he's making the point that maybe what you're seeing, maybe the signal that you're seeing in this gap between annual income has more to do with hours than it does to do with inequality. And her response is, well, just because they work more hours doesn't mean they're really working very hard. And you're like, what a non sequitur that has nothing to do with what he's saying, but
Now,
it's a way to shift off and divert. To
yeah,
something else.
it's a deflection. Now,
Yeah.
if we want to have a different discussion and say we have studied that if we have people work 8 hours, 4 days a week, we get significantly more output out of them than if we have them work 4 days at 10 hours a week or 5 days at 8 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's an entirely different discussion, and it's not a pay gap discussion, because there's some studies that show that like moving to a 32-hour work week actually significantly boosts productivity from employees because they have time to rest and breathe and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And some companies have done it, and some countries are moving to it, and it's an interesting idea.
It is.
But let us not forget, we need to thank, we all need to thank Mr. Ford, Mr. Henry Ford, for having a limit on the work week, because he's the first person who implemented it at scale and standardized it. You know, a lot of people hate Ford for a variety of reasons, but he did a lot of things that were positive for the working person.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So there were some No Kings protests this weekend again.
I heard.
Because we have a king apparently, which I wasn't aware of.
But I did love that there were a bunch of people flying communist flags at the No Kings rally, which means they're supporting dictators.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
So there was one in LA.
Oh, they're gonna ride somebody down.
Oh, it's great. This over. Okay, here we go.
Get away from the horse.
And you're about to get smacked. Boom.
Whoa! Fucking A!
Yeah. Don't fuck with the horse.
The reason cavalry have been effective against infantry for millennia.
Yeah. They'll just run you over. They don't care.
He's got a 2,000-pound advantage on you.
Yeah, for sure. Alex Stein do you know Alex Stein?
I think so.
He's
probably.
the provocateur guy who likes to go and piss people off. He went to the Dallas No Kings and was, yelling at people like he does. And he got jumped.
Put it out! That guy right there.
But he got cornered in, and some guys had to jump in and get him out of there. And now, granted, he is being provocative.
Yes.
Like he went. Apparently, there was a furry convention in Dallas this weekend, and he went and he goes, "Hey, ho ho, you furries gotta go!" Like he starts, and they threw him out, obviously, which was totally fair.
So one of the comedians last night, because I went to Roscoe's, and if you're in the Austin area, go check out Roscoe's. They're great. A lot of times they will have a limited number of seats at 2 for 1. So like I got 2 seats for $20. It was like $22 to go. It's awesome. No drink minimum, which is great. The staff there is great.
Awesome.
Roscoe's is awesome. Anyway, one of the comedians was there whose day job is as a construction worker. And he was talking about the No Kings rally, and he's like, "Look, I was working up in Georgetown, like downtown Georgetown on the square, and there was a No Kings rally." And he was like, "Look, know your audience. Nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention to you here. And whether I agree with your No Kings shit or not between like 11 and 1. I want to go get lunch. Get the F out of my way." He's like, "You know, Kings is great until you get in my way, and then you wouldn't let me." He's like, "One, you're in a place where nobody cares and nobody's paying attention, and it's like 30 people causing problems and blocking entrances to storefronts." It's like, if you want to have a rally, go to Austin. Go downtown Austin, like downtown Georgetown. One of the most conservative.
What, they were in the square?
They were trying to block the square.
Because the traffic at the square is already horrible as it is. But
because they've tried to keep it a traditional small town downtown area.
Which is awesome. I love
downtown Georgetown. It's amazing.
There's a diner down there. It's just the Georgetown Diner. That's not what it's called.
But they have a little theater down there that several times we've gone and seen A Christmas Carol, because our old choir director used to be in the performance every year. It's amazing. And it's one of those little timey 1920s theaters. It's great.
Let me actually show you. May know this. I'm going to pull it up on my. I'm going to show
Probably
you.
Not.
So there's this little diner that is. It's called the Monument Cafe.
I've heard of it.
Like, it's a traditional. Like, it looks like an old diner. What's funny is I walked in there and you see these light fixtures up here. You're not looking. Look at my screen.
Yeah, I see.
See these here?
Yes.
My parents have those in their house. Like, my dad's redid the whole house in very like modern deco style. And so like he went and found different like chandelier, and they look just like the ones in my parents' house. So it's all like farm fresh eggs and fresh squeezed stuff and real sort of very farm to table sort of thing.
Hometown food. Yeah.
But super good.
Love the bar. That looks awesome.
Yeah. It's a great place.
Pull this one up. It's in downtown Round Rock, which is one of my favorite places to go. Is downtown Round Rock. They've really revitalized it.
Which place?
The Alcove Cantina, which used to be the old cantina in Round Rock back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And they have live music in the back, and it's adobe walls on the side, and there's no roof, and it's just, you know, it's Tex-Mex food, but
there's a bunch of good places.
It's a great, like, if you're in the like North Austin area or Georgetown area and you just don't know what to do and you want a good Saturday night, go to downtown Round Rock. Free parking, and they've got piano bars, they've got sports bars, there's got country bars,
really nice,
they've got all kinds of stuff.
A good
place.
I think there's still a pizza place down there.
Yeah,
there's a good Italian place.
Nice. Yeah,
there's a candy store which is really cool. That's got like
it's
a
like
bunch of ice, like an ice cream bar in it, and then they've just got like. That's one where you go in and you're like, I haven't seen that one since I was a kid. Like it's that kind of candy store.
It's just a great place to walk around. It's a great environment. It's like going to 6th Street without any of the punks or the kids.
And they moved the library.
Yes,
I forgot about that. It's a couple blocks back. But there's like a nice like place to like let kids run around. There's like a grassy area.
In the summertime, they have like a fountain area, splash pad thing. It's downtown Round Rock is amazing. They've done amazing things with redeveloping that area.
Oh, I was trying to find something, and I was like, none of these are what I'm looking for. I realized I wasn't in my bookmarks. All right, this was great.
How you guys are?
This is great. All right, so this dude decides to roll up and start being a dick to some ICE agents at the airport. Yeah, at the airport.
Help me figure out how you guys are helping. I keep asking, but nobody seems to know. How 7 or 8 of y'all that were just leaving, and they didn't answer. They kept running away. So what are you doing here to help?
Why your voice is so stressed out?
Why don't you just answer the question?
I don't have to.
You're right, you don't have to. That's classic ICE behavior. But you should answer it because I'm paying your
classic ICE behavior. Classic ICE behavior. Now, if I remember correctly, ICE is only like 15 years old, 20
They
years
were
old,
formed
like
with
that.
the Patriot Act.
So
post Patriot Act. So
25. I mean, it's not really new.
But here's the thing: these guys are trying not to have a confrontation.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
This dude's about to wind up, like the dude who's got the camera.
Your job. I'm paying your salary. Okay.
He starts getting
you're not
angry.
Welcome. You're stealing from the American people. But why don't you just answer? How are you helping? Look at these fucking long lines.
Why are you so upset? That's not
because you guys are terrorists and thugs. Why would I not be upset? Everybody should be upset at you.
Listen, sir, that's your own opinion, okay?
It's not an opinion, it's fact.
No, it's
That may have moved into libel.
Oh,
so
it is
the cop said, "That's your opinion," and then the guy said, "That's fact." Like I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm like, you may have legally crossed a line there as far as.
The other thing that I love about this is that ICE agent is very clearly an immigrant from somewhere.
Yeah,
it sounds almost sort of Russian,
Eastern European is what I was going.
Yeah, somewhere up that way.
Majority of Americans hate your guts. That's a fact.
He's still winding up
because you're using our tax dollars. TSA's not getting paid. You're getting paid.
We got an immigrant and a black dude, and then what looks like a white or maybe an Italian guy in the background.
Yeah,
and I just love that. Like yeah.
All the colors of Benetton, and he's still like, "You're racists."
Hey, you guys were big and tough in Minneapolis, slaughtering innocent Americans.
Using legal deadly force after attack. Yes, yes, they did. Yeah.
But here you can't talk or answer questions. I don't know you. That is a dumb response. You do say dumb things, don't you? Everything you've said or asked me is dumb so far.
And so now they're about to get in their car. Yeah. And so he's now got to escalate because they still haven't responded to him yet.
So nothing from you. He's talking. Why not you or you? Do you not talk either? 6-figure salaries, $50,000 bonuses. I can talk to whoever I want. Don't tell me to leave anyone alone. Huh?
Should I ask you for permission?
No, whatever you want, fuckface. You can do whatever you want.
Why are you cursing me? Did I curse you?
Again, with the dumb questions, you are full of them. I'd rather speak to the guys that aren't speaking because you just said dumb thing after dumb thing. I hope all the people you're terrorizing haunt you in your dreams. I hope your $50,000 bonus is worth it if you
Kill
ever
them with
get
kindness.
it. You have no morals if you take this job.
Be nice, be polite.
It's just wild.
Be nice and be polite to the asshole. It just makes the asshole look more like an asshole.
It's just the wildest thing to me that it's just like, at what point would when did you find, how do you think that's appropriate?
There's another thing about this. I think the people who are doing this are truly, deeply miserable in their own lives. And they feel like they have to go after and attack somebody else. They're hurting so bad. And I think a lot of people are in this condition. And I think a lot of people are in this condition, especially post-COVID, because I don't think a lot of people dealt with the trauma that was that entire monstrosity that was COVID. And pre-COVID, the guy with the camera there, we might have been able to have a civil conversation.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, and I don't know exactly what did it, but a lot of people broke and haven't healed from that. And maybe that's what this is. Maybe they're working through something. Maybe they need to pick a bad guy and just vent and get it all out. Maybe they need a mission in life. Maybe they need a purpose in life. I don't know.
Or that thing that everybody had to take made people go crazy.
I think it's people who are miserable and lack a purpose. I think,
I mean,
that's not all of them, but
so one part of it is that I've heard someone talking about is the idea that what you've got is, specifically talking about women, is what they were referring to, is that you've got a lot of women who were sold the lie of college and business and boss babe and all that stuff. And they've reached this point in their late 30s, early 40s, where they don't have a family and they don't have a kid and they got nothing. And that what's happening is that there's this need to mother within them. And I'm trying to not be rude.
Because this wasn't a woman. This was a dude.
No, I know. But I'm just saying that there's this need to mother, and that they look at something and go, that makes me sad. I don't like that. So I'm going to be a mothery person to that thing. And so
hang
on. Let me. So that's a piece of it. And then I think what happens is that you've got the simp is the best way to put the person who is, I want a woman. The way to get attention is to do this performative action. And so I think you've got, and then I think you've also got people who are trying to stir up trouble and people who don't really understand what's going on. And they're like, I want to go to the thing with everybody. But I think you've got
it's like peacocking. It's that like trying to put on the display or whatever. I think
the core of the issue is being driven by the suicidal empathy of childless women, a large portion of them, and then there's the men behind them who want them, but the women don't want them. They I'm a 10 and you're a 2 and you're not worth my time and you would be setting to, and so they're going, well, what can I do to prove to you that I'm worth you attaching yourself to? And so I'm going to go out and yell at these people that you hate because look, it makes me look strong. It makes me look powerful. And so,
or virtue signal or whatever it is.
That's that. And now I say it again. That's not my argument. This is the argument that I've heard put by a lot of people. And for myself, I have a hard time finding a flaw in that. Now I think there's other pieces to it, but I do agree that seems like that's a big part of this is
and I've had to reflect on some of what I've had to deal with, and the people who are lashing out because of their pain and trauma or whatever, in my personal life. And I'm just like, God, you're miserable. Stop being miserable. Find something that makes you happy. Turn off the news. Turn off your X feed. Stop. Not forever, but unplug for a little bit. Because I had to do it. I started to go into a death spiral of this stuff. And I was watching a lot of like cop body cam videos. I was watching Politics on X. I was like, we were talking about this kind of stuff all the time. And I was like, you know what? I need to stop. Like, I still like check the news. I still check my X feed, but I cut it down to like minutes a day, right? As opposed to like long term. And then I found something that I enjoyed. And I started doing that thing that I enjoyed. And then I felt better. And then I found someone who was also in a bad place that I knew, like a good friend of mine, for very different reasons. And I was like, hey, buddy, come hang out with me and do stuff. Let's get us out of the house. And I took him to the comedy club last night for his birthday weekend. And he, you know, on the way back, he was like, thank you for taking me out. I was like, no problem. He's like, hanging out with you and doing the woodwork stuff over the last year has been very, very good for me. Like not praising me in any way. Like, it was just like, you got me out of the house, you got me off the couch, you got me out of my own headspace. You got me something to do where I'm not thinking about the problems that I have at work, at home, or whatever. I'm getting to do something with my hands. We're having fun. We're going out to eat occasionally. We're hanging out. We're playing games again. It was, he needed a kick in the ass, or that's the wrong word. I'm sorry. He needed somebody to reach their hand down and be like, hey, buddy, can I give you a hand up?
Yeah.
And I had managed to do that for myself. It took 5 years for me to drag myself out of that miserable spot. And I had help along the way. I had people like you. I had my buddy Brian. Like, I had my family. But why don't we start paying some of that forward, right?
Yeah.
If you see somebody who's just so wound up about this stuff, be like, hey, I know you've been to like the last 12 rallies. Why don't we go hiking this weekend?
Yeah.
Why don't we go see a show? Why don't we go play a game? You want to come help me build something? Whatever it is. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what your thing is, right?
Right.
But I do want to. I'm going to show off something here, just because I want to show off some of the work that I've done. But also, this has helped me deal with a work problem I have, because my job. I love my job. It takes care of me. It does what I need to. It has great benefits. I love where I work. I love what I do. But nothing ever's finished. Or as soon as a project's finished, the way it works at work, there's always something. It never feels like I've fully completed anything, right? I can never put something in a package because of where I am at work. Like, there are people at work who can do that and be like, here's the finished product, right? I started building stuff. I built a swing for my mom, and it was so rewarding. I started building and selling stuff. So I'm going to show off some of the things that I've done here, because the point of this, if anybody's watching, is find something that lets you feel like you've finished and succeeded at something. And let's see, share screen, window, photos. Here we go. And I'm a rank amateur. This was my first project. Right, I built a swing for my mom. Went and found. I have some tools. I've done some stuff before, like fix it up stuff. I found a video on YouTube and I built it, and it's great. And then I posted it on Facebook, and some people bought it, which was even more awesome. I built this, painted it the color that the client wanted. This is like a hanging twin bed frame. The funny thing is, like, I bought really expensive outdoor paint to do it after they picked the color. And then they hung it and decided it didn't match the color they wanted, and so they repainted it. But I know that it was great. But you know, that looks like something that costs thousands of dollars off of the internet if you go and look for it at Wayfair. You know, I built that and sell that for like anywhere to $300 to $400. You know, and you know, I've loved playing with fire, like the scorching stuff, and just experimenting. You know, I built this. This is on my back porch now. I found this is one of the ones I'm most proud of. It's old barnwood. Couldn't really do anything with it. It's got a crack in it. I didn't want to burn it and throw it away. It's got a pretty color, so I cut it and made a hat rack out of it. Yeah. You know, it's like And then this is the thing that sits on my back porch now. I tried to sell it this weekend. It didn't sell at the flea market. And when my youngest found out, he's like, "Don't sell it. I love the bench. Don't sell it." I'm like, "Dude, if I sell it, I'm gonna have enough money to build another one." But this one was great. My brother got this antique from my grandma, and the shelves had warped and bowed to the point where they were useless. So I made him new shelves.
Nice.
It's not a perfect color match, but so the point of this is not go start woodworking, is find something that fills you up. And when you're done, check say endorphin box, right? Especially if you want to crusade and protest and go out and fight the good fight. You got to be filling your gas tank up.
Yeah.
I'm saying that as somebody who was like in the ministry trying to do that kind of thing. You need twice as much fuel going in as you got going out, because that will burn you out. Sorry, I'll get off my high horse.
Yeah. No, totally. All right.
And if you want to order any woodworking furniture, I post a link to the chat room or to the email on the bottom.
A battle over biology in Battleground, Pennsylvania, where state Democrats withdrew a House resolution honoring March as National Women's Month. All it took was a Republican lawmaker asking for a simple definition of what a woman is. The vote was expected to be quick and largely symbolic, but it was polled after this awkward 25-second break.
Madam Speaker, this amendment is very straightforward and clear. It defines what a woman actually is, because we do know what that is. Thank you.
The resolution is temporarily over.
There you go.
We want to honor women. Cool.
Okay. What
Here's
are they?
the definition. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. That's what I just heard.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's bananas.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
All right, where's the other one here? Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Check this out. All right, this is Sam Tripoli. So you probably would recognize Sam Tripoli. Sam Tripoli is the dude who was on Rogan.
He had the bullet thing the other
No,
day.
different dude.
Different dude?
That
Okay.
was Kurt Metzger.
Okay.
Sam Tripoli is the
They look
one.
the same.
They're similar. They don't, but it's okay. Tripoli was the dude who called the protest switch like 5 years before it happened. He's like, that thing's on the way out. And when the shift went to Israel Palestine, and the clip came up from like 4 years before where he just like explained exactly what was going to happen. This is pretty interesting.
This building just dustify. Just dustify.
That is crazy. And there's also the Operation Northwoods, where the exposed CIA documents where they wanted to fly jetliners and blow them up over Cuba as a pretext.
I mean, dude, if you study Operation...
They had the roadmap to 9/11 before 9/11.
Study Operation Northwoods and tell me that's not point for point the Challenger explosion. Every single point of that is exactly what the Challenger explosion was. Okay.
Wait, how is the Challenger explosion?
Okay. So you cited, okay. So what is Operation Northwood? All right. One of them is to pull Cuba into the war.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to create a fake musical concert, and they're going to have these college students go play there. We're going to parade them around in the media, make it a big event. Everyone watches them go, get on the plane. The plane goes. They're going to lower the plane, and they're going to put another plane up and blow up the plane and blame it on Cuba. Okay. Study the Challenger explosion. Oh, we got a teacher on this flight. It's the first time a teacher's going to space. Everyone's doing the media tour. Then the big day comes, all their families there. They're watching it. Everyone's cheering. Plane goes up, explodes. You're like, Sam, well, how did the astronauts get out? It's called the padded room. There's literally a tunnel or tube that if it looks like it's going to go bad on the Challenger, something's going to blow up. You go down this tube, you get to this
like a
room,
last
they
minute
shut it.
evacuation thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Challenger took
and then
off
you look at all.
before it
It was
blew
in.
up, and the padded
What's
room
that?
doesn't work. The Challenger took off before it blew up, and the
You're saying
padding
it
room doesn't
couldn't be-
work at
You
that
couldn't
point.
say it wasn't remote. He's saying the whole thing was a setup. They got out before it took off.
Yeah, except no one's ever seen that teacher again or any of those astronauts.
Yes, they
ever
have.
again.
He's about to get to it. So
It's
hang
in
on.
Florida. A guy basically proved that a bunch of them are still alive.
What?
Yeah, you've never looked into the Challenger?
Have you not seen this before?
No.
Some
So
dude.
I
So hang on.
Go ahead.
Just let him lay
Okay.
this out first because it's crazy.
Well, I love when I do this. Look up the Challenger
I don't know.
astronauts still
Shit.
alive.
This is why I got you here, bro. You're my tour guide today.
Yeah.
He says there's a guy, an investigator in Florida, who's looking
Yeah,
at this.
he was the guy that got fluoride out of he was on my show. I'm bad with names, but basically, yeah. So if you get into
He
it,
talks about fluoride too. Okay.
yeah. So every one of them
Skip ahead. Here we
twins
go.
that were never recorded before.
Yeah.
that.
So
They-
2 of them have twins. 2 of the guys, and those guys are still out doing the same jobs that the guy who was on the ship did.
Okay.
Okay.
both have their twins are still alive.
Hmm.
The chick in the top corner with the curly hair,
Yep.
she teaches at either Syracuse or Harvard, has the same mannerisms. If you look at
Where's the they
oh,
find
didn't
one.
even
Yeah, here we
change
go.
their names, dude.
Is it not loading on Facebook, Steve?
Yeah, so I don't have to go into, but like I saw this years ago, and there are, of course, there's the thing about like sometimes people look like other people, and you get, there's a whole, I know a dude did a coffee table book of like people who look exactly the same, one's from Israel and one's from LA, kind of thing. However, I have seen that, and it is really weird because two of them had twins that do the same job that they did. 2 of them I don't even think changed their name.
Okay.
So it's
that's-
weird.
Now, for me, Occam's razor, I
Okay.
do think there was a conspiracy that blew up the Challenger. It was the conspiracy of bureaucracy not paying attention to the people screaming, "This is gonna fucking blow up if you launch." Because that's a whole thing too. Like,
No, I know.
we've
But
got
here's
into that guy, and it's
all of that is correct.
Yeah.
They were going, it's gonna blow up, and they went, cool. Let's pull them out. Let's do this whole thing. Let's like, it's,
I
can
don't know.
see that.
Yeah.
The argument that I always made for that is it's
At least he's not saying that it didn't blow up, right?
no, he
Like,
totally thinks
yeah.
it blew up. He thinks it blew up so that they could use it for funding pushes and get more money, and because that
Problem is-
black budget and stuff.
And that's possible, but let's not forget, for those who didn't watch it live on TV like I did, because we stopped to watch shuttle launches back in elementary school back in the day.
do you wonder if that was the point?
No, we were watching all that stuff before they ever.
No.
blew up, like, I mean,
You
but-
wonder if the reason why
Right.
they blew it up is because they didn't want to do any more flights.
So maybe the point I was going to make is like because you said maybe to get more funding or whatever. Like, it stopped the program for years.
But it could have, and it could have backfired.
Yeah, it could have.
It could have been like, I mean, but when I first sort of started
Well,
looking
the shuttle
into like,
also has a horrible safety record for a plane.
well, yeah, but I mean,
The way they measure that is like number of flights and flight hours per like massive tragic accidents or whatever. And if you look at this, if you look at the shuttle, it's atrocious compared to almost every other.
To be fair, it's falling like a rock through the atmosphere. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, somebody pointed it out, like, it's not a great design.
no, it's not. It's the best we could come up with, or maybe. But I mean, my thing, sort of looking at it from that standpoint, I sort of started looking into it a while ago, and I was like, boy, it is interesting that we had this mass tragedy while everyone was watching it on TV. Like, if you were trying to run a psychological operation on the school children of the day, that's a way to traumatize the shit out of the entire country's children because
Yeah.
everyone was watching it.
We go into the whole Gen X mode of like, oh, it blew up. All right, everybody, let's go to recess now. Because that's all it was. Like, we didn't
Right.
fucking deal with it. Like, it just
Normalizing the tragedy, not let not. I'm just. It's
yeah. No, it's
obviously
interesting.
it's not
interesting.
definitive or anything, but it's one of those things where you look at it and you go like, if you were trying to run an operation, That's one way to do it.
It is, and I buy into a lot of conspiracy theories, but I'm not biting on that one. I'm just not. So, and now, granted, I haven't done a lot of research into it, but I'm not biting on that one. So.
Let's see here, Challenger. Let's see,
because there's a real slippery slope to that. We didn't even go to the moon, and we sure put our, one of our friends through a punching bag for that.
No, I still stand by my. I think the footage might have been fake. Oh, the other thing was one of the dudes who supposedly was on the Challenger opened a company, and the logo of that company is a twirling cloud shape with a plane flying through it. And he's like, man, that really looks like the curly Q of the Challenger blowing up. Like, it's just another one that's just like, that's an interesting. No, I can't find it. But yeah, it's one of those things I ran across a while ago and was like, that's interesting. Ooh, we've got new Bigfoot footage.
I saw this the other day. I saw this one pop up.
Oh, I don't know. That looks pretty AI to me.
Here's the problem. We're gonna need film.
Oh, actual film stock, you mean?
We need to stop. The people hunting for Bigfoot need to stop using digital media and go back to film. Because
it's harder to fake.
It's significantly harder to fake film.
Walmart.
I told you I'm doing one of the Kickstarters for a big Bigfoot project, right?
No, I don't think you mentioned that.
I did the minimum amount to back Les Stroud's Bigfoot movie, which looks like it's going to turn into like two Bigfoot movies now, is what he's saying. So, because he's getting so much stuff. So,
dude,
I like his approach to that, because he does that whole thing where if you go, like if somebody walks up to you at the party and you go, "Hey, do you believe in Bigfoot?" People are like, I don't. But if you go, "Hey, do you think that there may be enough food and space in North America for a relic hominid to still exist and occasionally be seen and maybe caught on film, but not documented by science in North America and parts of Asia?" And he goes, "Well, then that's a very different question."
It is a very different question.
And he's like, as somebody who studied nature, like the answer to that question is yes. There is enough room. There is enough food. There is enough space.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I didn't realize until he talked about it, it's like the population of Western Canada is like a quarter of what it was in like 1780. There were way more people living there than there are now, because so many of the natives have died for a variety of reasons.
No, I need a topographic. Hang on. I'm trying to find a good. No, it's not topographic.
The other thing is, like, we know there was a great ape that matches Bigfoot's description with Gigantopithecus. Like, we know it was there, and we found living fossil relics before. So, entirely possible for me.
I'm trying to find like a good. Maybe if I just go to Google Maps. Give me what I'm looking for. I'm looking for just a big overview of like, so you can see all the.
Oh, the Bigfoot sightings?
No, not that. I'm trying to get a. Yeah, here we go. This will totally work. All right. It's a lot of green.
Yeah. There's a lot of unpopulated green.
Like, I mean, think about it. Like, there's people here, but this is the Yukon. Like, there's a lot of nothing.
Northwest Territories, British Columbia, Alberta,
all the way down into
Saskatchewan.
You know, and then yes, there's people in Alberta,
Manitoba,
and Calgary,
Ontario, Quebec.
This is a pretty big. Like, I think this is a mountain range here. Like, I don't think you're getting. You could just something could just roll right through this.
Yeah.
And end up down here or end up down here.
There's
Like-
also a lot of green in the areas where it tends to. Now pull up the Bigfoot map, the sightings map.
Let's see if I can find
I know
it.
there's some of them out there.
Yeah, it's all the green places.
It's all the green places, but see if there's one for Canada.
Helps if I spell it right.
Oh, look, it's all those green places you're just pointing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they're here, which would make sense considering this is where the land bridge would have been. Coming through the Bering Strait over from Asia, they would have come right through this space and down in, just like like hominids did.
What's real interesting is like there's now a lot of Bigfoot sightings in Florida, and we know for a fact that there are breeding populations of primates running around Florida because enough chimpanzees and orangutans and stuff have gotten out from whatever things that they're there. Like,
yeah,
Florida is dealing with a massive invasive species problem at multiple levels.
Yeah, big snakes and iguanas potentially Bigfoot,
snakes, monkeys, chimpanzees, orangutans,
gators.
Well, those are not invasive species.
They're not invasive, but they're a problem.
Well, maybe they'll eat some of the monkeys.
You know, that would be great. They should eat some of the monkeys.
The problem is the pythons are eating all the like small wildlife. Like there's no predator for them.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
you want to call it?
Yeah,
Cool.
let's call it here. Let's. All right.
All right.
See you guys later.